Hi everybody, it's Mama D. Welcome back to my channel, Mama D Reacts, and this is Outlander Season 1, Episode 2, and it's entitled Castle Leoch, L-E-O-C-H, Lech, not sure how you pronounce that, but we are following the story of a lady who has traveled in time from the World War II era back to like the Revolutionary War days in Scotland. And so she really doesn't know what happened, how she got there, but she has been taken in by a group of, I guess they're rebels. They're not in the British Army, let's put it that way. And they're Scottish. So the first episode, her husband and her went to Scotland for a little vacation after the war was over, and they went to the same castle and had sex in the castle. And now she's in the castle in the, like the time of the Revolutionary War kind of days or whatever. That's not, I know that's English and British, and Revolutionary War was in America. But anyway, so it's back like I think in the 1800s. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we're going to pick up from there and see what happens to her on this episode.
The last time I was here, Frank and I simply took the car. But after spending 2 days and nights jolting along on a horse, I knew I'd never find my way back. Not unless I convinced these people to help me in some way.
Dougal, you're back early, man. We hadn't thought to see you before the gathering.
Aye, well, we've had some luck. Some good, some bad.
Martha, you look and smell like a rat that's been dragged through ship dung.
Kiss a kiss there.
Go away.
Yeah, she looks a bit out of place.
What do we have here?
Claire Beecham, Mistress Fitzgibbons.
Jimmy? You hurt the lady. You need tending. This way. Let's get you to the rain.
Yeah, that is bizarre that they were just there in that same room.
As you asked, garlic and witch hazel to boil the rags. Also brought comfrey and cherry bark for the peel.
Perfect.
Call out if you need anything else.
Oh, well, thank you, Miss Fitzgibbons.
Everybody calls me Mrs. Fitz. You may also.
Mrs. Fitz. Oh my God. Wow.
Redcoats.
Wow. Look at those scars.
Flogged me twice in the space of a week. They'd done it twice the same day, I expect. They're not afraid of killing me. There's no joy in flogging a dead man.
Oh. He's an asshole.
Bring his head up.
You wanted to send a message. This is what you get when you fight back against the English.
Ooh. Yikes.
Your husband is a lucky man.
My husband. What was Frank going through? His wife disappears without a trace. without a word, without explanation.
Right.
Fears would prey on him. Perhaps I was abducted. Perhaps I was dead.
Claire?
Or perhaps worst of all, I had left him for another man.
Mrs. Randall!
She took that away real quick.
Come along.
Like, what is that? They don't have brassieres.
Kind of corset is that?
It's a brassiere. But it's from France.
Ooh.
I will, of course, need to arrange transport back to Inverness as soon as possible.
I'm sure something can be arranged. But I do myself wish to know how exactly a lady such as yourself came to be wandering about in the woods.
Thank you.
May I present my wife, Letitia. Letitia, Mrs. Claire Beecham, an English lady of Oxfordshire.
A pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure's mine.
I trust Mrs. Fitzgibbons found you comfortable lodgings.
Very. Frank would have laughed and said I fell for the oldest trick in the book. Ply the subject with food and drink, but all the while continuing the interrogation.
Uh-huh.
I would have to be more careful
Pretty much.
if I were to survive the next 5 days.
There's a price in my head. £10 sterling. Farmers all year in these parts.
Seems excessive for a single escaped prisoner.
Not for escape. For murder.
Now I know. Why did you tell me?
You asked?
That's no answer. Could have lied. Told me it was none of my business.
I suppose I could have. Didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Decided to trust you instead.
Suspect me of something, or you wouldn't have people watching me. Perhaps you'd be so kind as to give me a notion of your suspicions, or is that too much to...
You're Lamouli.
I suspect you may be an English spy.
Ooh.
Spy? Me?
You haven't told the truth about who and what you are. Of that, I'm sure.
Wow.
And until I am sure of you, I'll have you watch day and night.
Her father accuses her of loose behaviour.
Het ik hier gesprek gaan eerst doen. I mean, doen from Pensacue. From Cruai. And G-Man Shaw.
Her father wishes the Mackenzie to have her punished for disobedience.
Jo, Gaelic Shaw, vol hem is een tracht.
No, no.
Starvenish!
Moes dat gewoon. Ga je kalk week uitremeentje. Bristien en Christine daar, hè. Agus, nacht verwacht krioch. Jeeskersjoch.
He's offering to take the girl's punishment.
What?
He's still injured. He chooses fists. Fists? Rather than the strap.
If you'd have wanted a beating, I'd been happy to oblige you.
Yeah, well, you might have done some real damage.
Watch yourself, laddie. Your uncle is up to something.
should last a day or two and the cheese will keep for a week.
You've been too kind, Mrs. Fitzgibbons. I can't thank you enough.
Ain't nothing no it, lass. Safe journey to you.
Paula wishes to see you.
Why?
It doesn't matter why.
Tell her
All
I
right.
don't think she's going to be able to get out of here.
I'll be back in a minute.
Taylor, since Davy passed, I want you to take up the work.
But I'm leaving.
No,
I told
you're
you.
staying
I told you.
as my guest.
You mean as your prisoner, don't you?
Only if you try to leave.
Well, so Claire is stuck there now, and they won't let her leave. And they want her to be their healer. So we'll see where that goes from there. This is, I'm definitely getting interested in this. So we'll see you on the next episode and see what happens. Any comments, put them below.